sure. We actually haven't even been able to get information from anyone associated with the fire department. That's just how crazy that it has been. No access to Alden Street at this time. You are either going to have to go up Roosevelt Avenue or further down on Wilbraham Avenue. Why it's blocked off, that is what we're working on finding out. You can see behind me that there is a number of police cruisers that are here on scene. And if we could zoom in to Alden Street, you could actually see that there's a car in the middle of the street. We're unsure of the involvement here, but I can tell you that there is no accessing Springfield College between Middlesex Street and Wilbraham Avenue. And we did reach out to a spokesperson for the college, and they tell us that this is not an active shooter situation and that they are not on lockdown and that there is no threat to students at this time. But again, Chris, this is a breaking situation, and we are working on finding out more details as they become available. We have reached out to spokesperson Ryan Walsh, but at this time, we have not yet heard back. In Springfield, James Villalobos, Western Mass News.
The town just beyond Hampden County to our west has opened a shelter for anyone in the area.
We are now, and as you said, Chris, happy to report that she will finally be reunited with her family after what police are calling a life or death situation.
Car was dark, at least 5% tint. When I seen it, I knew it was the car.
I just quickly asked her, where's Elizabeth, where's Charlotte? And found out Charlotte was supposed to be home. And Dad was on his way because she hadn't called in. And I couldn't say anything at that point but hand the phone to the detective because I just broke down.
Back to our team coverage of the Springfield child abduction. During a press conference yesterday, police credited civilians for their huge role in helping locate the suspect, saying they made it possible to have a license plate number to look out for.
Truly making a difference. Thank you to everybody sharing our story here. And our Western Mass News reporter, James Villalobos, speaking exclusively with the couple that engaged in a high-speed chase with the suspect, working then with police to make sure these people did not get away.
They're now sharing their story and the video of that chase only with Western Mass News.
Amanda Disley and her husband, Benny Correa, were just picking up dinner Wednesday night, all while reports spread of the abduction that happened on Amherst Street. They were at a stop sign on Arnold Avenue when
I said, yo, babe, that's that car. That's that car. I seen that car. You showed me that car. That's the car.
To make sure they weren't mistaken, Amanda quickly pulled up a picture of the suspected car she saw on Facebook. That's when they took a right onto Boston Road and began to follow it.
Car was dark, at least 5% tint. When I seen it, I knew it was the car. So I pulled up against it when I got up to Harvey Street, and I flashed my high beams. The guy pulls up his hood and covers his face. Started to dart up Harvey Street, and I darted right behind him.
They're turning down streets trying to avoid me.
In this exclusive video given to us by the couple, you can see that they follow behind him while on the phone with 911.
My husband reversed on the main road.
Right onto the main road.
We blocked him.
To block him in.
He jumped over a curb, and that's when the high beams flashed right into his driver, and I saw his complete face. He threw the hood back over his face, and I saw someone in the back seat pushing someone down. And that's when we were like,
It's him, it's him, it's him. No, this is a blue Honda Civic, and they're doing 100 miles an hour right now.
When he noticed that we were really chasing him when he did all the side streets, he just started blowing through every single red light, and my husband blew through every single red light with him.
The couple not giving up and refused to let the suspect get away.
He just blew through a red light. He's blowing through red lights. He's blowing through red lights.
Amanda and Benny never expecting to be in that position with their own 5 kids in the car, but they knew that in the one they were chasing, it was possibly life or death for another child.
I feel relieved that we didn't chase the wrong person, and I feel relieved that my husband stepped up and that we got the plates, because the plates led to them finding him on the highway because there was no notice of any plates.
The two praised police for their response because as they were chasing the suspect, they ran out of gas. And their car took a beating, now dealing with damage they were never anticipating.
We blew our suspension.
Our tire.
Hey, I hit some dirt. I almost killed me and my kids because I jumped in front of cars and blew through red lights, and
Yeah, we ate a lot of dirt, as you can see.
I wasn't thinking about that. I played it safe. I looked both ways before I crossed the street. I made sure there was no cars coming before I ate the red, and I was on them.
Hours later, and still trying to process what they just did has been difficult, they say. But they tell Western Mass News it's exactly what they hope anyone would have done when a child's life is at stake.
It takes a village.
It's a city. It's our city. We don't do that stuff around here. That's not how we play. There's zero tolerance for that.
While yes, their car is now damaged, they say that's nothing considering the role they played in making sure 11-year-old Charlotte is back home with her family, safe.
There's still good people in the world. Not all people are bad. Just play it safe and make sure you watch yourself at all times. The world is not what it used to be.
James Villalobos, Western Mass News. This is William Santiago's car totaled after crashing into a tree while getting off the Chestnut Street exit off of 291 in Springfield earlier this month.
The brakes had kind of locked up. So at that point, I kind of realized, like, oh man, the car's not stopping. This is not good.
William, who's 24, tells Western Mass News it was his day off and he was heading downtown to pay some bills when suddenly his car hydroplaned.
I saw the impact about to happen. I kind of braced myself. And from there, it was just a quick blur.
William was seriously injured but still conscious and could only use his elbows to try and crawl out. He says he began to lose consciousness when suddenly he saw a woman in the distance.
I looked up at her and it's like, am I going to be okay? I want my mom. She says, honey, you don't have your mom right now, but I promise you have me. And she just really reassured me, kept me calm.
William says he wasn't feeling pain in his legs and he began to worry.
And I just kept asking her, am I going to be able to walk again? And, she kept telling me, I don't know, okay, but one thing I do know is you're here and you're going to be okay. And she never gave me that false sense of hope, but she gave me that reassurance that I'm still here.
She kept telling him not to move and she stayed with him until paramedics arrived. William says the last time he saw her was when the ambulance sped off to take him to the hospital. After regaining consciousness, William told his mom he needed to find this woman. So they took to Facebook, putting out this post with the description of the woman who helped him.
Somebody had commented, that's like finding a needle in a haystack. And I commented and I was like, absolutely, but it's worth the try.
Facebook worked. The woman who helped him posted, her name Kristen, with the hashtag needle in a haystack. 2 days after the crash, Kristen and William met in his hospital room.
I bought her a heart necklace. It says "Forever My Hero," and then it's like a heart a locket. And on the other side of it, it has the date of the accident, and it has my initials, WS.
As he continues to recover from the physical injuries from the crash, Will says he's also struggling emotionally. One night, he says he was having a nightmare and flashbacks of the crash. He woke up in a sweat and started writing what began as a poem. He turned it into a song, which details not only the crash and his hero, but how he was in a bad place in life before it.
Anybody having a bad day, questioning, why things happening, can look at that video and look at that and hear that song and know that, to trust in your faith. There's a reason everything happens.
And now with Kristen becoming a member of his family, he says he really wants her to know.
You're my hero. Nobody stopped. Nobody stopped, James. People dialed 911. People were recording me. I couldn't believe it. But here comes this woman come running full speed at me, takes me right into her arms, telling me, I'm not your mom, but I'm here for you. And it was just the most amazing thing ever, and that woman is my hero. I don't care what she says. To this day, she will always be my hero. To the day I die, she's going to be my hero.
Well, if you have a hunger for the restaurant business, these restaurant owners want you. They say it's been very difficult trying to hire people for these vacant positions, maybe even more difficult than it was to let them go in the first place. Connecticut restaurants overcoming another hurdle. They're opening to full capacity on Friday, but they can't seem to fill several positions that have been left open due to pandemic layoffs.
We're trying to get the best people in here at front of the house, back of the house, and it's a challenge because everyone else is opening up and going to full capacity.
Max Oyster Bar owner Bob Cook says the Max Restaurant Group is offering up $1,000 sign-up bonuses as an incentive. People need to stay for a minimum of 6 months to receive it.
People are still home and collecting the stimulus and refusing to work. We're lucky. I've got I got 95% of my regional staff back, so we're still pretty strong.
They, like other restaurants, have put up several "we're hiring" ads on Indeed and Craigslist. The plea for recruiting people in the restaurant business has poured over to Instagram.
You go through the Instagram feeds of all of our restaurants, they're posting for jobs, and that's a good sign.
Executive Director of the Connecticut Restaurant Association, Scott Dolch, explains the struggle.
It can be a big challenge right now because we're trying to there's thousands and thousands of jobs, would be my opinion right now, all out there.
Scott Smith, Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Max Restaurant Group, says they're willing to take people who don't have industry experience, acknowledging that everyone needs work.
If they have the right attitude and the right personality, we'll make a restaurant person out of just about anybody.
And the Connecticut Restaurant Association is helping their Connecticut restaurants find people to take these jobs. If you're looking for a job yourself, you can find all that information and more. Just head to our website, WTNH.com. In West Hartford, Amber Diaz, News 8.